Imagine a world ruled not by might but by right, a world where change comes from the courage of ordinary people. Gandhi envisioned this world fighting with non-violence. His life was a testament to the power of peace. True strength lies in the indomitable spirit. Love, compassion, and truth are potent forces for change. Gandhi's story is a universal story of courage and peace. Gandhi's journey began in the quiet town of Porbandar, on the western coast of India. Born into a devout Hindu family, he grew up imbibing the values of tolerance, nonviolence, and respect for all religions. These early influences would later form the bedrock of his philosophy. As a young man, Gandhi traveled to England to study law. There he encountered Western ideas of democracy and individual rights, concepts that resonated deeply with him. However, he also witnessed firsthand the stark inequalities and prejudices prevalent in the British Empire. These experiences left an indelible mark on Gandhi's mind. He began to question the very foundations of colonialism and the inherent injustice of racial discrimination. It was during this period that the seeds of his future activism were sown. He started exploring various philosophies and religious texts, seeking answers to the pressing social and political issues of his time. In 1893, Gandhi traveled to South Africa to practice law. Little did he know that this journey would transform him from a lawyer into a leader. In South Africa, Gandhi faced the brutal realities of racial segregation and discrimination under the apartheid system. He was deeply disturbed by the injustices meted out to Indians and other non-white communities. The turning point came when he was thrown off a train in Pietermaritzburg simply because of his skin color. This incident ignited a fire in his soul, a burning desire to fight for justice and equality. It was in South Africa that Gandhi developed his philosophy of Satyagraha, or truth force. He believed in resisting injustice not through violence but through non-cooperation with the oppressor and unwavering adherence to truth and love. In 1915, after more than 2 decades in South Africa, Gandhi returned to India. His experiences had forged in him a steely resolve to fight for his own nation's freedom from British rule. He had witnessed the power of Satyagraha in South Africa, and believed it could be the key to India's independence. Upon his return, Gandhi traveled extensively across India, connecting with the masses, understanding their struggles, and mobilizing them against British rule. He lived a simple life, adopting the attire of an Indian peasant, and spoke in a language that resonated with the common man. Gandhi's message was clear and powerful. He called for Swaraj, or self-rule, not through violence but through non-violent resistance. He urged Indians to boycott British goods, institutions, and laws, and instead embrace self-reliance and indigenous industries. Section 5. The Salt Satyagraha, a pinch of defiance. In 1930, Gandhi launched the Salt Satyagraha, a pivotal movement in India's independence struggle. The British imposed a salt tax, making it illegal for Indians to produce or sell salt. Gandhi embarked on a 240-mile march to Dandi, where he broke the salt law by picking up a handful of salt. This act sparked a nationwide movement. Thousands joined Gandhi, defying the British salt laws. The Salt Satyagraha demonstrated the power of non-violent resistance and exposed British brutality. Section 6. Satyagraha, the force of truth and love. Satyagraha, meaning truth force or insistence on truth, formed the bedrock of Gandhi's philosophy. It was a novel method of resistance, rooted in the ancient Indian principles of ahimsa, or non-violence, and satya, or truth. Gandhi believed that true power lay not in physical force but in the moral strength derived from adhering to truth and love. He argued that violence only begets violence, whereas non-violent resistance, while requiring immense courage and sacrifice, had the power to transform the hearts of even the most hardened oppressors. Satyagraha involved various methods of non-violent protest, including civil disobedience, boycotts, strikes, and non-cooperation with unjust laws. Gandhi emphasized the importance of self-suffering and the willingness to endure punishment without retaliation. He believed that by willingly accepting suffering, Satyagrahis could awaken the conscience of the oppressor and ultimately achieve their goals. Section 7. The Price of Freedom, India's Partition. After decades of struggle and sacrifice, India finally achieved independence from British rule on August 15, 1947. However, the joy of freedom was overshadowed by the tragic partition of the country into India and Pakistan. The partition resulted in one of the largest mass migrations in human history, with millions of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs displaced, and countless lives lost in communal violence. This broke Gandhi's heart. He had always envisioned an independent India where people of all faiths could live together in peace and harmony. Gandhi vehemently opposed the partition and tirelessly campaigned for unity and communal harmony. He even went on a fast unto death, demanding an end to the violence. While his efforts did help quell the riots in some areas, they couldn't prevent the tragic consequences of the partition. Section 8. A Legacy Forged in Blood and Peace. On January 30, 1948, just a few months after India's independence, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by a Hindu extremist. His assassination sent shockwaves across India and the world. The man who had always advocated for peace and nonviolence met a tragic end at the hands of violence. Gandhi's death was a profound loss for India and the world. He was not just a political leader but a moral compass, a guiding light for humanity. He had shown the world that it was possible to fight for justice and freedom without resorting to violence, that love and truth could indeed triumph over hate and oppression. Gandhi's legacy, however, lived on. His message of peace and nonviolence continued to resonate across the globe, inspiring countless individuals and movements for social justice and equality. Section 9. The Mahatma's Global Impact. Gandhi's influence transcended the borders of India. His philosophy of Satyagraha became a blueprint for non-violent resistance movements worldwide. From the civil rights movement in the United States, led by Martin Luther King Jr., to the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, spearheaded by Nelson Mandela, Gandhi's teachings inspired generations of activists and leaders to fight for justice and equality. Martin Luther King Jr., a staunch admirer of Gandhi, adopted his principles of nonviolent resistance during the American Civil Rights Movement. He once said, "Gandhi was the guiding light of our technique of nonviolent social change." Nelson Mandela, who led the fight against apartheid in South Africa, also drew inspiration from Gandhi's life and teachings. He said, "Gandhi's philosophy formed the bedrock of our struggle." Section 10. Gandhi's Message for the Modern World. In today's world, rife with conflict, violence, and intolerance, Gandhi's message of peace and nonviolence is more relevant than ever. His life and teachings offer us a path to navigate the complexities of our times, a way to resolve conflicts peacefully, and build a more just and equitable world. Gandhi's emphasis on truth, compassion, and nonviolence provides a powerful antidote to the hatred, bigotry, and violence that plague our world today. His message reminds us that real strength lies in our ability to overcome injustice with love, to meet hatred with compassion, and to respond to violence with peace. As we grapple with the challenges of our times, let us remember the words of the Mahatma, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." Section 11. An Eternal Flame of Hope. Gandhi's journey was extraordinary, yet his message remains profoundly simple. Love, truth, and nonviolence are not mere ideals but powerful tools for change. He dared to imagine a world free from oppression and violence, and he showed us that such a world is possible, not through might, but through right. Gandhi's life was a testament to the power of the human spirit, the unwavering belief in the goodness within each of us. He may have walked this earth in a simple dhoti, but his impact on humanity has been monumental. His legacy is not confined to statues or history books. It lives on in the hearts and minds of countless individuals striving for a better world. Gandhi's message is an eternal flame of hope, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the light of peace, love, and truth can never be extinguished.